International students have always been a major source of income for American colleges. Many universities depend on them to stay financially stable, specifically after COVID-19 pandemic caused a big drop in student enrollments. However, things are becoming more difficult again, as Trump's immigration policies are making it really hard for international students to study in the US. Many Indian students who form one of the largest group of international students in America could be the most affected by these changes. In the last few weeks, the US government has been taking strict actions against international students. They have cancelled student visas, conducted raids, arrested people who have permanent residency, and even threatened to deport students who participate in the protest. And on the top of that, the government has cut hundreds of millions of dollars in funding for STEM, that is, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics research. Well, this is a huge issue because many international students, specifically those from India, rely on these grants to pay for their education. Due to this sudden financial crisis, many universities have stopped accepting new students from certain graduate programs. After this, another major issue is the possible travel ban. The Trump administration is planning to introduce a new travel ban that could be much stricter than the one that was imposed during Trump's first term. This new ban could affect 43 countries, making it much harder for students from all these places to enter the US, though India is thankfully not in the list. In 2017, when Trump's first travel ban was introduced, the number of international students applying to American universities dropped really bad. Undergraduate applications fell by 2.2%, while graduate student application decreased by 5.5%. The situation became even worse during COVID-19 pandemic. Just when the number of international students started to rise again in 2023, these new policies are threatening to push enrollment numbers down once again. Now, experts believe that many students will now look for alternatives. Countries like the UK, Canada, or even some Asian nations too are becoming more attractive for Indian students because they offer better visa policies, work opportunities, and safer environment. A major shift has already been seen in international students' enrollment, by the way. While fewer students are coming from China, the number of Indian students going to the US increased by 23% last year. However, if strict visa policies continues, Indian students may also start looking for options in Canada, Australia, and Europe. Indian students applying for higher studies in the US are already feeling the impact. A recent survey found that after Trump's re-election, only 48% of Indian students had a positive view of studying in the US. Now, this is a sharp decline as Indian families have always considered America the top destination for higher education. The situation became even worse when last week an Indian graduate student, Ranjani Srinivasan, had her visa revoked. She was forced to flee to Canada due to fear of her safety because the ICE wanted to cancel her student visa. This news has also spread quickly across Indian media and has created panic among students and parents. The incident is making many Indian families rethink whether the US is still a good place for their children's education or not. One of the biggest reasons for the drop in international student application is the high cost of education and visa restrictions. Many American universities charge much higher tuition fee for international students, and most Indian students rely on their families or loans to cover these expenses. According to data, 81% of international undergraduate students and 61% of graduate students pay for their own education without any financial support from the US universities. Now, with new visa restrictions and funding cuts for research programs, Indian students who had hopes to study and work in the US may now struggle to afford it. Well, the situation is not just bad for Indian students, but for American universities as well. Since international students pay full tuition fee, universities rely on them for financial stability. Many universities are already facing financial problems due to low domestic enrollments. If fewer international students apply, some colleges may even be forced to shut down certain programs. However, experts believe that universities will not openly oppose Trump's policies because they depend on government funding too. In particular, public universities have to follow the decisions that are made by lawmakers, even if it hurts their international student enrollment.